I'm going to talk about the pressure patterns. So there's some like negative PNA for today's like whole days. So let's go to the next 24 hours. 7 p.m. There's some positive PNA in Toronto. Southern Ontario gets stronger. We're gonna go more southwest from Toronto gets stronger. Positive PNA. So let's go to the next 24 hours. 27 November 27 is stronger positive PNA than November 26. So November 27 is stronger than November 26. So let's go to the next 24 hours. 7 p.m. But November 27 was peak of positive PNA. So and then for now for Toronto it's gonna be positive PNA but in some parts okay that's off. So don't need to tell London it changed or not. So let's go to next 24 hours. 7 p.m. That's the negative PNAs. So for Erie, London, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. I didn't talk about the pressure pattern first. So let's talk about the pressure pattern and go back to precipitation pattern. So 1012 millibar. Oh, just skip that. 7 p.m. There's 1008 millibars pressure affecting Toronto. Not gonna say affected Toronto anymore. So let's go to 7 p.m. next. So there's some 1004 millibars of pressure. So let's go to next 24 hours, 7 p.m. It's gonna go up to 114 and 108 hours. So 1008 millibars of pressure. That's Southern Ontario. So let's go to 7 p.m. And 1020 millibars pressure is affecting Toronto, not Southern Ontario. Previous one was Toronto, not Southern Ontario. So let's go to 7 p.m. like 24 hours after that. And 1028 millibars of pressure. So let's go back. We already talked about this. So let's go to 7 p.m. So let's skip that. So gonna skip that. Actually, Cobourg, Peterborough, Belleville, Whiteton, Collingwood, Owen Sound, Whiteton, no, Lionshead, Orbit, Thunder Beach, Palm Beach, Sonic Bay, Midland, Orlando, Berry, Georginia, Beverly Hills. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Uxbridge. So Oshawa is also as possible, but the Seabear is also Oshawa on the map, so Oshawa is actually could be 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's look at the heavier precipitation. Also means warmer water somewhere. So Port Elgin, Hanover's off. So Hanover, London, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga, Brampton, Scarborough, Stouffville, downtown Toronto, even some breaks. Richmond Hill, Newmarket, those cities are Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, City Point, Erie, Lompoc, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Actually, 2.5 millimeters of rainfall in those cities. Like like second light is gray. Green is going to be 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So next 20 actually 12 hours. So Scarborough, Oshawa, Uxbridge is going to Niagara on the Lake, Lions Head or Bay. Those cities are going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's look at the heavier precipitation. So Belleville, Cobourg, Peterborough, those cities are except Peterborough. Peterborough is actually Boston. Those cities are going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall, including Niagara Falls, City Fort Erie. So we didn't do skip Hamilton. So Greensway is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So there's no other cities missing. So let's go to 1 p.m. Most of Southern Ontario is 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Line said, Bay, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Bay, Midland, Whiteton, Collingwood, Whiteton, Owen Sound, Collingwood, Berry, Orlando, Georginia, Beverly Hills, London, Hanover, Port Elgin, Scarborough, Stouffville, Richmond Hill, Downtown Toronto, Newmarket, Orangeville, Brampton, Mississauga, Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, City Point, Erie, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Cobourg, Peterborough, Belleville, Cobourg, not Cobourg. So those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So most of Southern Ontario is not gonna say it again. So let's do 7 p.m. So this gonna be cold air. So this time, so Whiteton, Owen Sound, Lion's Head, Bay, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Solid Bay, Midland, Orilla, Cobourg, Peterborough, Belleville, Niagara Falls City, Fort Erie, Long Point. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Niagara on the lake parts of it. Actually, those two. So including Lewistown actually. So in parts of Niagara on the lake. So let's do. There's no Uxbridge. It could be. So let's try Uxbridge. So that could be Port Perry. Actually, Port Perry is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. I'll try to see nothing. So let's talk about Port Elgin, Hanover. It's gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So next 24 hours, 12 hours. So 7 a.m. So let's choose a random place. So Whiteton, Owen Sound, Lion's Head, Bay, Scarborough, Stouffville, Richmond Hill, Newmarket. So Richmond Hill is the wrong place. So Orangeville, Brampton. Those is just Long Point. Those cities are gonna skip Long Point. So those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, including Port Elgin. So Hanway doesn't count. So Barrie, Orilla, those Belleville, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rain snowfall. So let's look at warmer and wetter precipitation. So Bomb Beach is 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Bomb Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay is going to be 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So let's see for Erie. For Erie is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. London sees nothing. So even though it shows snowfall. So borderline. So let's look at the next hour. Might miss something. So Georginia doesn't count actually. So Orla's done. So don't need to talk about that. Not even Beverly Isles. So 1 p.m. So Lion's Head, Bay, Whiteton, Owen Sound, Collingwood, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, South Lake Bay, Midland, Orilla, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isles, Mississauga, Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington, Port Elgin. So London doesn't count. It could be. So London is actually those also counts. So Barrie, those cities are going to get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Hanover is also 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. So let's do next hour. Let's go to 7 p.m. Most of Southern Ontario 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. So Lion's Head, Bay, Whiteton, Owen Sound, Collingwood. Collingwood, yeah, Collingwood counts. So Midland, London, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Niagara on the Lake, parts of Niagara Falls City, Hanover, Port Elgin doesn't count actually. So Orlando, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isles, not Georginia. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So 2.5 is actually Georginia, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, South Bay. So you can skip Georginia. So until that later. So Port Erie, we're not gonna count. So Orangeville. So Orangeville is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Mississauga is gonna get some 0.25 millimeter 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Ashland sees nothing. So Uxbridge doesn't count actually. So let's go to 7 a.m. So Lion's Head or Bay, Salt Lake Bay, Lion's Head, Hope Bay, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Barrie, Georginia, Scarborough, Stouffville, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Belleville. So Belleville is the council, Long Point, Niagara on Lake, parts of Niagara Falls, Freeport, Elgin, Hanover. So those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Let's do London. So London is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. Or let's gonna get some 2.5 millimeters, 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Belleville sees nothing. So new market, snowfall. New market is actually 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So actually it doesn't. It is. Actually it doesn't. So 1 p.m. So Port Elgin, Hanover, Scarborough, Pickering borderlines. So Oshawa, Uxbridge, Salt Lake Bay, Georginia, London, Niagara on the Lake. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Beverly Isles, Collingwood is gonna get some 0.25, 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. So 7 p.m. Port Elgin, Hanover, Collingwood, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, South Bay, Midland, Barrie, Georginia. So Beverly Isles, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Georginia is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. So London, Niagara on the Lake is going to be 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Oshawa is nothing. So Uxbridge is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So let's go to the next hour. 7 a.m. actually. So Port Elgin, Hanover. So Port Elgin, Hanover is gonna get some 0.25 Niagara on the lake. Uxbridge is too far off. So where's Uxbridge? Too far off. Actually, it could be Uxbridge. So Uxbridge is actually gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Could be missed. So actually not missed. The orange will is nothing. So ignore Meltons. So usually I don't do Meltons. So 1 p.m. Second final hour. The White Sun, Owen Sound, Lionshead, OB, Barmy, Southern the Beach, Barry, Georginia. It's gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, except Georginia. Georginia is gonna get started by 0.10. It could be less, but Port Elgin is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, so 114 hours. So Lionshead, OB, Whiteton, Owen Sound, Port Elgin, Hanover, London, Hamilton, Burlington, Oracle, Niagara Falls City, Fort Erie. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So let's look at the total precipitation once every 12 hours. So let's go to today's. So London, five. This is millimeters of rainfall or precipitation per 12 hours, not just rainfall. This is snowfall and other like freezing rain and snow, hail, not hail, but it's gonna be snow, freezing rain, sleet, rainfall, and that's it. So let's continue. So 2 millimeters of precipitation is Whitetown, 3 millimeters of precipitation is in Collingwood, 5 millimeters of rainfall is it's going to be London. If I say rainfall, ignore it. It's going to be mixed like snowfall, rainfall, whatever it says. So Brampton 4, Stouffville 3, 4, Downtown Toronto 3, Scarborough 4, Newmarket 3, Orangeville 3, Uxbridge 2, Oshawa 3, Cobourg 2, Peterborough 2, 1, Belleville 1, 2, everywhere Niagara Falls 3, Queens 5, Hamilton 4, Oakville 4, Mississauga 4. So let's look at the harder city. So Owen's is 2.5 actually. So lines, I'm gonna skip that. So I had to zoom out to Ontario sometimes. So 1.2 is in Bondi Beach. Midland is 1.2, that's mean average. And Thunder Beach is 1.2. Solid Beach is 1 point, no, 0 point something. So 0.7. So let's do Lion's Head. So Lion's Head is gonna be 0 point, no, 1.2. Hope's Bay is going to be 1.2. So let's Berry. So Berry is going to be 1.7, Georgina 1.7, Orella is going to be something. So Orella is going to be 1.2, Beverly Isosa actually is going to be 3. So let's go to the next 24 hours. So Whiteton 3, Collingwood 1, Oshawa 1, Newmarket 1, Peterborough 2, Coburg 2, Coburg, Belfast 2, 2 is in Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls City 3, London 1. So Port Elgin is going to be 4. So let's do the hardest cities. So Lions Head or Bay is 4. Bomb Beach, not Bomb Beach, Thunder Beach, Solid Bay is going to be 2. Not 2, it's going to be 1.7 millimeters of rainfall actually. So not 1.7. It could actually 2 millimeters of rainfall or something else, but it's mean average is actually is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. So there's going 1.2 millimeters of rainfall, which is mean average. Is in Thunder Beach, and Solid Bay is actually 1.8. So Bomb Beach is actually is going to be 1 millimeters of rainfall. So let's look at Midland. So Midland is going to be 1.7 millimeters, actually 2 millimeters of. Actually, it's going to be heavier than 2. It's going to be 2.2 millimeters of rainfall. So Odella is going to be 2. It's going to be 2.3 millimeters of rainfall. Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isis mean average 0.7, but it's going to be like Georginia is going to be closer to 1.2 millimeters of rainfall, so it's going to be 1. Actually, it doesn't need to change. It stays at 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. So that's the next hour, 8 p.m. So London 1, Hamilton 3, Niagara on the Lakes 1, Greensby 1, Whitetown 1, and 2. So now we can do the harder cities. So Lions Head, Whole Bay is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. That's the mean average. So it's actually 2 millimeters of rainfall. With 1.7 something else. So Owen Sun is actually going to be 2.3 millimeters of rainfall. Barrie is going to be 2.5, the mean average for that. So 2.3 is actually 2.5 is Barrie. Georginia's gonna skip that. So Arilla is actually going to be 4 millimeters of rainfall. Beverly Isles actually is going to be 1.7 millimeters of rain. Actually, it's not 1.7. It's going to be 2 millimeters of rainfall. 1 millimeters of rainfall actually. So it's in Beverly Isles. Georginia is going to be 5 millimeters of rainfall. So we cleared everything. So Peterborough is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. Scarborough is going to be most part Scarborough is 0.2. Richmond Hill same thing. Brampton same thing. So unless it's southern Scarborough is going to be heaviest is 1.2 millimeters of rain, and moderate is going to be in Scarborough is going to be 0.7. So downtown Toronto is 1 millimeters for rain. Mississauga actually is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Hamilton 3 is done. So Oakville is going to get some mix. It's going to be 1.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Peter was done. So Coburg. So Coburg is going to get some. I'm gonna skip that actually. So Orangeville is actually the mean average is actually gonna be 0.7, but it's gonna be heavier or lighter. So actually it's gonna be 0.7. Niagara on the lake is done. So Niagara Falls City is 0.2. Big parts of it. Niagara Falls City is going to be 0.2. Fort Erie is going to be 0.6 millimeters of rainfall. So Uxbridge is going to be 0.2. Oshawa 0.6. So let's go to 8 p.m., 7 p.m. So London's 2. Port Elgin, I'm gonna gotta talk about that. Collingwood is 3 millimeters of rain. 3 millimeters of rain means in Uxbridge. Oshawa is 1 millimeters of rainfall. Niagara on the Lake is 1 millimeters of rainfall. So let's look at Port Elgin. Port Elgin is going to be 1.7. Hanoi is going to be Not gonna talk about that. So Niagara on the lake is gonna be mixed with like 1.1 millimeter, actually 1 millimeters of rain. Niagara on the lake, so this count Niagara Falls Cities. Parts of it is gonna be 0.2. So let's see Oshawa, Oshawa. So Oshawa is 1 millimeters of rain, so it doesn't count. So big rain usually I don't count. So Georginia's actually is going to be 2.5. Actually, it's going to close it to 4 millimeters of rainfall. So Beverly Hills is actually 5 millimeters of rainfall. So 4 millimeters of rainfall. No, it's gonna be 4 millimeters of rainfalls in Barrie. Or the other is nothing. So Georginia, totally done. So Palm Beach is actually just going to get 4 millimeters, 3 millimeters of rainfall actually. So, but in Dottie Beach is going to be 5 millimeters of rainfall. Solid Bay is actually the heaviest. It could get like 1.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Uxbridge is too close. So that's going to be Stouffville. So Stouffville is going to be nothing. So ignore that city. So ignore Stouffville. So have we done anything? London is 2 millimeters of rainfall. That's it. So let's look at the 1/14th hour. The Whiteton, not gonna count. So Owen Sound, London, not gonna count. London, it's possible to get 1 millimeters of rainfall actually. So 1 millimeters. Actually, London is counts because 1 millimeters of rainfall. So Owen Sound is gonna get some Owen Sound. Hanover, Port Elgin is something else. Port Erie is gonna get some 0.2 millimeters of rainfall during berries. So let's mean that. So Solid Bay is going to be 0.2. Palm Beach is actually going to be 1.2. 1.2 is also Thunder Beach. Lion's Head is going to be 1.2 millimeters. And Hope's Bay is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. Hamilton, Burlington, and Oakville is going to be Niagara on the Lake. Niagara Falls City is going to be 0.2 for Erie is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. Very Georginia, Beverly Hills is going to be 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So Hollywood is going to be 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So winter precipitation. So let's go to like due to this later on. So at the end. So Wartown is 0.7. Owen Sound is going to be 0.7. That's the mean average, but actually it's going to be 0.2. So that's the mean average is 0.2, but the actual precipitation amount is going to be 0.7. So 0.2 actually, it could be. London is 0.2 millimeters, so centimeters of snowfall. 0.7 centimeters is the white or sound. Niagara Falls City mean average is going to be 0.2 centimeters of snowfall. Port Elsa is 0.2 centimeters. Hanover is going to be 0. No, it's going to be 0.7 centimeters of snowfall. 1.3 centimeters of snowfall mean average. So let's look at the next hours. Next 24 hours actually. So 8 p.m. So Wartown 2.1, Collingwood 2.1, 1.1, London, Brampton 0.5, Stouffville 0.3, Downtown Toronto 0.5, Orangeville, Newmarket is 0.3, 0.5 is in Uxbridge, Oshawa 0.3, Quebec, Peterborough is 0.4, Niagara on the Lake 0.7, Niagara Falls City is 0.3, Hamilton 0.1. So let's look at the orange wool. So orange wool is actually doesn't count. Doesn't need to change. It's 0.4 actually. So it's going to be 0.4 or 5 ish. It's gonna be 4 or 5, like 5 centimeters of snowfall. 0.5. Actually, 0.5 is possible in orange walls because of getting inspired. So actually Brampton. So Owen sounds. So let's look at the line set or base. So the 1.3 is in line set or base. Owen Sound is going to be closer to one something. So 1.2 centimeters of snowfall. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach is going. Palm Beach, something else. So Palm Beach is actually going to get some quite close to 5 centimeters. So it's going to be 3 centimeters of snowfall in Palm Beach. So Thunder Beach is going to be same thing. It's going to be 3 centimeters of snowfall. And Salt Lake Bay is going to be 5 centimeters of snowfall. This is in the lightest gray blue actually. So let's look at the berry. So berry is going to be close to 4.6, so 4.5. Gonna be 4.4 centimeters of snowfall. That's wrong. So it's actually is gonna get to 2.49 centimeters of snowfall. That's in berry. Georginia is actually is going to get 4 centimeters of snowfall. Beverly Isles is actually is going to get 1.0 centimeters of snow. Line said all be done, so I done that. So let's go to 1 8 p.m. Sempino actually. So London is 2.3, Toefl 0.7, Newmarket is 0.9, Oshawa 1.5, Uxbridge 3.1. So Watertown is 0.2, Collingwood 2.6, Hamilton is 0 point something, 0.8, Niagara on the Lake 1.3, 0.4, Niagara Falls City 0.3. So let's go to other cities. So Port Elgin is going to be 1.3, doesn't mean average. So Hanover is going to be 1.3 borderline. Actually, it's going to 1.2 centimeters. So Palm Beach is actually going to be closer to 5 centimeters. So for 3 centimeters is in Palm Beach. Salt Bay is going to be 2 centimeters of snowfall. Actually, you could do 2.5 also. 2.5 centimeters is in Thunder Beach. Salt Bay is going to be 1.8. So it's going to be heavier. So it's going to be 1. Actually, 1.8 is possible in Salt Bay. So now we could do Barry and things. So Barry is actually is going to be close to 5 centimeters, so it could be 4 centimeters. So Georginia is going to be 4 centimeters. So that's Georginia. So Beverly Hills is actually 5 centimeters, so no, it could be 6 centimeters, but it's gonna be 5 centimeters most of the time. So Midland is going to be 0.2, but instead of that, it's going to be 1 centimeters. 1.3, 1.2 centimeters is the mainland possible. So let's go to the next 24 hours. So let's go to 7 p.m. to far off. So London 0.9, Brampton 0.2. This is centimeters of snow per 12 hours. So 0.1 is in snowfall. Down to Toronto 0.1. Newmark is 0.2, Uxbridge 0.2, and Niagara on the Lake 0.3, Niagara Falls City is 0.4. 0.4 is also for 80. It could be 0.5. Could be 0. Actually, the snowfall amount is 0.2, but it's 0.4. So 0.3 is in Collingwood, 0.9 is in Wire. Ton, Hamilton 0.4, Oakville 0.4, Oakville, Burlington 0.4. So Owen Sound. So Owen Sound is actually going to skip that until I finish. So now we can skip it. So Owen Sound is actually just 0.2, the mean average. So but Berry is going to be 0.2, Georginia is 0.2, Beverly is 0.2, Lion said it's going to be 1.3, Hope's Bay is going to be 0. Something. So it's going to be 0.3, 0.3 is in Salt Lake Bay. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach is going to be 1.3 centimeters. So air temperature pattern. So 9 degrees in London, Brampton 7 degrees in Stoffel, Newmarket 7 degrees, Uxbridge 7 degrees, downtown Toronto 8 degrees, Oshawa 8 degrees in Coburg, 8 degrees in Peterborough, 9 degrees in Belleville, Niagara on the Lake is 9 degrees, Niagara Falls City is 8 degrees, Greensboro is 9 degrees, Hamilton is 8 degrees, Oakville 8 degrees. 10 degrees in Barton, 8 degrees in Collingwood, Orangeville is going to be 7 degrees. Now we can do different other cities. So Lion's Head or Bay is going to be 9 degrees. Palm Beach is going to be, it's going to be 8 degrees. Not 8 degrees. It's going to be 9 degrees. 9 degrees in Palm Beach. Salt Lake Bay, Dutton Beach. Midland is going to be 10 degrees. Actually, 9 degrees. So 9 degrees is actually Midland. Let's start again with the Midland and things. So Palm Beach, let's see lines. So 9 degrees is in Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay. So Midland is gonna be 10 degrees. 10 degrees. So let's do line say this over and sound is done. So Barrie is 8 degrees. Georgia is going to be 9 degrees, 70 degrees. So 7 degrees is actually Georgia. Orlando is going to be 9 degrees. Beverly Hills is actually is going to be 8 degrees. So let's go to 8 a.m. London 9 degrees, 7 degrees in Whitehans, 8 degrees in Hollywood, 9 degrees in Niagara Falls City, Niagara on the Lake is 10 degrees, Hamilton 9 degrees, Queens by 9 degrees, Peterborough 7 degrees, so Oracle 7 degrees, 9 degrees actually, 9 degrees. So now we can do Mississauga, Brampton. So Mississauga, Brampton, Downtown Toronto, Stouffville, Scarborough, Newmarket, Orangeville, Uxbridge, Joshua, Cobourg, Belleville. Those cities are going to be 8 degrees. So Cobourg is like 8 degrees. So Lions Head or Bay is going to be 8 degrees. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach is going to be 8 degrees. Solid Bay is 8 degrees. Midlands 8 degrees. So Aurora is going to be 7 degrees. Virginia 7 degrees. Beverly Hills 7 degrees. Barrie 7 degrees. So those cities are actually like the start again for the single. So Barrie is going to be 7 degrees, but it's going to be 8 degrees actually. So 8 degrees in Barrie, Georgia. It's going to be 7 degrees. Aurora 7 degrees. Beverly Hills going to be 8 degrees. So So Fort Erie don't usually count, so ignore that. So not even Port Elgin, Hanover, or in some. So let's look at 3 p.m. So 4 degrees in London, 4 degrees in Whitehall, 7 degrees in Collingwood, 7 degrees in Brampton, Delta Toronto, everywhere Niagara Falls. So Hamilton 6 degrees, 6 by 9 degrees in Belleville. Newmarket, Orange World is 8 degrees, Stouffville 8 degrees, Uxbridge 8 degrees, Oshawa 8 degrees in Cobourg, 8 degrees in done. So let's talk about the harder cities. So Oracle is going to be 7 degrees. So Lion's Head or Bay is going to be 4 degrees. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Solid Bay is going to be 8 degrees. So 8 degrees. So Barrie is 8 degrees. Virginia is 8 degrees. Orlando is 8 degrees. Beverly Hills is going to be 8 degrees. So London is -1, Whitehall is 1 degrees, 1 degrees in Collingwood, 2 degrees in London, Toronto, 2 degrees in Hamilton, Niagara on the Lake is still 2 degrees, Australia is 2 degrees, Belleville 2 degrees, 3 degrees in Cobourg, Niagara on the Lake is 1 degrees. Ignore good spice. So Brampton, Stouffville, Newmarket, Orangeville, Uxbridge, Peterborough is going to be 1 degrees. So Lions Head or Bay is going to be 1 degrees. Salt Lake Bay, Thunder Beach, Palm Beach is actually going to be 2 degrees. Barrie is 1 degrees. Georgia is 2 degrees. Aurora is going to be 1 degrees. Beverly Hills actually is going to be 1 degrees. So let's go to 3 p.m. London 1, -1 is Whiteton, 0 degrees is in Collingwood, 2 degrees in Hamilton, 2 degrees in Downtown Toronto, everywhere in Niagara Falls is 2 degrees, Oshawa 2 degrees, 3 degrees in Cobourg, Belleville 3 degrees, 2 degrees in downtown Toronto. Brampton is 1 degrees. 1 degrees in Snowfall. Newmarket is 1 degrees. Uxbridge 1 degrees. Peterborough 1 degrees. Oakville 2 degrees. Gwynnsby with 3 degrees. So let's look at the bomb beaches. So bomb beach is actually is going to be it's going to be 1 degrees. 2 degrees is in Thunder Beach. Solid Bay is going to be 2 degrees. 1 degree is in Lion's Head or Bay. So let's go to next hour. 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So the lines London is 2, my Wyerton 2, 3, 2 is in Collingwood, Brampton is 2 degrees, minus 2 degrees. So most of southern Ontario, including Wyerton, Collingwood, London, Brampton, it's gonna be below freezing. If we say 2 degrees, that's below freezing. So the visit 2 or 3 is gonna be below freezing. So Stouffville is -3, Newmarket Orange Falls is -3, Uxbridge 4 -4, Oshawa -2, Cobourg -1, Peterborough -4, Belleville -2, Niagara Falls Cities -1, 0 is Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington. Niagara on the Lake is +1. So now we could choose the harder cities. So Lion's Head or Bay is going to be -2. Bomb Beach is a -2. Salt Lake Bay is actually -1. -2. Thunder Beach -1. Barry's -3. Georginia is -1. Orlella is gonna be -4. Beverly Isles actually -2. -2 degrees. So let's look at the next hour. So at 3 p.m. So London -2, -2 Bytown Collingwood. Newmarket -2, Orangeville -2, Stouffville -2, Oshawa -2. -1 is in Brampton, Dr. George is +1, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville is +1, Niagara on the Lake, everywhere Niagara Falls is 1 degrees, -3 is in Uxbridge. So everywhere in Niagara Falls is going to be +1, including Hamilton, Burlington, and Oakville. So Cobourg's +1 is in Belleville, -1 in Peterborough. So in Lion's Head or Base, -1, Palm Beach 0, Salt Lake Bay is 1. So Bomb Beach is actually -1. Barrie is -3. Barrie is -1, -3 actually. Georginia is actually -2. Orlella is -3. Beverly Isles is actually is going to be minus something. So -3. So let's look at 7 a.m. So London is -4, Whitetown -3, -2 is Collingwood, -2 is in Brampton, -1 is in downtown Toronto, Hamilton, Burlington, Oracles, -1, Niagara on the Lakes, -1, -2, Niagara Falls City, -5, Uxbridge, -5, Peterborough, -5 is in Belleville, Oshawa, -3, Cobourg, -3, Newmarket, Orangeville, not Orangeville, -4, Stouffville, -4, Orangeville, -3. So Lion's Head or Bay is going to be -2 degrees. So Palm Beach is actually -2 degrees. -1 is in Thunder Beach. Solid Bay is going to be -2 degrees. The Barrie is -4. Georginia is going to be -3 degrees. Orilla is going to be it's actually -7 degrees. So yeah, -7. So Beverly Hills actually is going -4 degrees. So look at the next hour. Final hour. Let's double check. So let's do next hour actually. So 111. So final hour. The Wireton is -2, Collingwood, -2, London, Brampton 0, Dover -1, Newmarket, Orange Falls -1, Toronto is +1, Hamilton, Burlington is going to be. So Hamilton is actually 0 degrees, so 1 degrees, but it's actually 0 degrees most of the time. Burlington is going to be same thing. So Oakville is actually different temperature. It's going to be +1. Actually, 0. Could be, actually, it's going to be 1 degrees in Oakville. So Niagara on Lake is 1 degrees. Niagara Falls City is 0 degrees. Oshawa is 0 degrees. 2 degrees in Wilkes-Barre. 2 -1 is Peterborough. -1 is +1 is in Cobourg. -1 in Belleville. Scarborough is going to be 0 degrees. Fort Erie doesn't count. So now we can do other cities. So Lions Head or Bay, 0 degrees. Hope's Bay is actually -1. So 0 degrees. So Palm Beach is actually -1. The beach is actually minus something. So -1. Could be 0, but it's going to be -1. So Salt Lake Bay is -2. Midland, I don't use Cabin so Orilla, it's going to be minus something. -3. Georginia is going to be -1. Beverly Hills is actually -2 degrees. So this is the end of the video.